Jedi slaughtered, a masked Force user revealed. What secrets lurk in the shadows of the Acolyte? What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. Hey, if you want the deepest Star Wars discussions that you can find on YouTube, well, hey man, you found the right place. There's no clickbait, rage bait, monetized hate, or any pseudo-intellectual alcoholics here dissing on Star Wars. There's no Disney shills. It's just deep discussions and talking about the themes and the questions that everybody should be asking about these Star Wars shows. So hey man, let's get into Star Wars The Acolyte episode 5. This episode is Night. So the episode opens with Osha walking up to a chaotic Jedi lightsaber battle against a mysterious, powerful Force user known to us as the Master. The Master swiftly overpowers the Jedi, leaving only Osha, Yord, who's injured, and Jeki remaining. Meanwhile, May, after finding Kilnaka's lightsaber, engages in a hand-to-hand fight with Jeki. The Master arrives and also fights with Jeki, and Jeki manages to disarm the Master of his mask, revealing his identity as Chimere, the associate of May. Enraged, Chimere kills Jeki and attempts to kill May for her betrayal. Master Soul intervenes, leading to a brutal fight between Soul and Chimere. Eventually, Soul gains the upper hand in their fight. However, before Soul delivers the final blow with his lightsaber, Osha pleads for him to stop. Chimere uses the opening to engage Soul, but Osha, using her ingenuity, attracts a swirl of those giant moths known as Umbra moths to carry Chimere away from the battle. At that point, May stuns Soul with Osha's stun blaster. We then see a confrontation between Osha and May. Osha blames May for the deaths of all of the Jedi that night, while May believes that the Jedi are responsible for their suffering on Brendok. The episode ends with a shocking twist. May overpowers Osha. She takes Yord's lightsaber, cuts her hair, and disguises herself as Osha. Meanwhile, the true Osha is eventually found by Chimere, who does something uncharacteristic of the Sith that we've known so far. He heals her wounds with the Force. All right, guys, so that was a summary of the episode. Let's jump into the themes. These are things that you should be looking for as the story develops. It'll help things make a lot more sense. The power of deception. This is a theme basically that I've pointed out that everybody is lying so far. The witches lied to the Jedi lied to the witches. Soul is carrying around a lie. All of the Jedi, the 4 who were there on Brendok that started this whole thing, they've all been carrying around lies. Even Chimere has been lying. He's lying about his identity. So this power of deception, the idea of everyone is lying, this is rampant throughout. So when you hear people talking about, well, the story doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, I don't understand this, it's bad writing. To me, that's not a valid claim, right? The point is everybody's lying. It's not supposed to make sense. We're trying to unravel the truth when everybody keeps lying. That's what makes this a murder mystery. So in this episode, both Chimere and May manipulate others for their own gain. Chimere uses the mask to hide his identity, as he says, he's a Sith. People can't see his face. Whoever sees his face, they have to die. I don't make the rules. The Jedi made the rules, and I'm just playing my part, right? May deceives Osha, and by the end, she's deceiving everybody, Master Soul, even though some people think that Soul knows that that is May and not Osha. But we're going to have to see how that develops, starting with episode 6 coming very soon. All right, so the next theme, the Force and its corruption. So while Master Soul uses, this is a new one. Well, no, it's not. This is kind of an attack on the Jedi. So while Soul uses the Force for good, Chimere demonstrates a potentially different application of the Force, including healing. What Chimere says is, look, I want the freedom to use my power the way I want to use it. And a lot of people are like, well, no, Chimere, you're like, what the Sith believe is, that they have to dominate weaker beings and this and that. And that's what we've seen of the Sith so far, right? The dark side of the Force is the corruption, but still, you can't completely stamp out the dark side of the Force, right? The Force, there's one view of the Force where the Force is the Force. That's why, like Mother Anastasia talks about the thread. There's no dark side of the thread and no light side of the thread, right? The thread is the thread. How you pull it and your intentions is what your intentions, are you using it for to help others in a selfish way or in a selfless way. That's kind of how they see things, and the Jedi should, but they don't. It's like, well, if we do it, we're being selfless, but Anakin Skywalker did some things that he thought was being selfless to save others, but the people he was trying to save were the people he cared about, right? They were his attachments, and those attachments is what led him down a dark path. Even though he had good intentions, he still did bad things. That's a theme that we saw with Anakin, and we're seeing it here. And like, you can probably look at anything and start to see that, it's all about your intent. The past influences. This is another theme, right? We've really been dealing with something that happened in the past and how it's shaping events in the future or in the present. So the events on Brendok continue to shape the present. Like I said, both Soul and Chimere seem to be driven by their past experiences. Now, this is a question because, like, some people are saying the Soul and Chimere have, or the Master or the Stranger, whatever you want to call them, the Sith Lord, the not Sith Lord, I don't know. But people seem to believe that they have some history in the past. Maybe they're, big brother, little brother, father, son, something. I don't know. I'm open to the idea that they're related some kind of way, shape, or form. But that's not really what I'm looking at and what I was going to say. Where I was going with this is that I've always been curious, how does Chimere know so much about what happened on Brendok and what Soul and the other Jedi did, and why was whatever this test is, this initiation that he was putting May through, why did it involve those Jedi in particular, right? Because if he's Sith and she were gonna become his apprentice, from what I've seen, I'm not saying from what we've seen, what's canon, I say what I've seen is that you only kill one Jedi, you take their lightsaber, you bleed the kyber crystal, and that's your initiation. So why does she have to kill 4 Jedi, and she killed 2 already? Like, defeating Master Endara, to me it seemed like that would have been enough. So there's something more to this, like why. And then, of course, with May running off and saying, I'm going to turn myself into Kilnaka, I'm not going to kill him, and I'm going to turn myself over to the Jedi, and I'm going to say everything I know. Of course, Chimere has to out himself as the Master and go kill Kilnaka himself to prevent May from doing that. And then, as he said, if you do it before May knew that the truth about Chimere is, you say he's going to kill you, meaning I'm going to kill you if you do that. Why is Chimere so invested in the Jedi? My thinking is that this idea of you kill the dream, right, is he's trying to show, oh, you Jedi aren't so perfect. The way you kill a Jedi without a weapon, you make them lose faith in the Jedi Order, and you make them become disillusioned with what they're doing and show, oh, you guys are supposed to be in the right, but you're wrong, and you're abusing your power, and you call me Sith and a perversion of the Force, but it's actually you're what you're accusing me of doing, right? It's projection. So family and loyalty, of course, this is a huge theme that's run throughout, right? Is that Osha and May, they lose their family and they find new families. Who are they loyal to? May's loyal to her family that allegedly she lost on Brendok. And I feel like May is out to serve herself. There was one of these hater bashing the Acolyte people on Twitter. Maybe they have a YouTube channel. Yeah, they do. I think it was a critical drinker, pseudo-intellectual alcoholic. Yeah, I said it. You can go tell him. I don't care. What's he gonna do? Square up with me? You don't want to do that, homie. He said that, like, everybody makes these decisions and they act and nothing's consistent. And I'm like, well, you're consistently wrong, because May's been pretty consistent that she's out to serve herself, right? She's on this revenge mission to kill these 4 Jedi, but these are the 4 people she blames for ruining her life, right? So It's like, oh, I got to kill 4 Jedi, but they just happen to be the people that I hate more than anyone else in the world, right? And then she's, oh, Oshi changes everything, and Oshi being alive. And then when we see Chimera heal that injury that Osha has, well, how did she get injured, right? So what we see is May had Yord's lightsaber. She cuts her hair. For me, I looked at it as, hey, man, I don't know if those are dreads or locks or if they're braids. But when black women, when they cut the braids, usually it's like extensions. They burn the ends to singe them so that they don't come loose. So when I saw that, that's immediately where my mind went. But the people who criticize, they're not. So some of y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? We know about our hair, and that's immediately where my mind went. So, all right, let's get to the recurring questions. So these questions are questions that we're looking to answer throughout the series. Like I said, these are things to look for. If you're having trouble following what's going on, just keep a list of these questions and see, are we getting the answers? Are we getting more? Of course, we're not going to get all of the answers until we have everything, but we're getting little pieces, more pieces to the puzzle, right? So the tragedy of Brendok. What really happened on Brendok? Did the Jedi play a larger role than revealed? We still don't know, but Chimera seemed to imply that Soul is hiding something from Osha, and whatever he's hiding could potentially be devastating. So Chimera's true nature, is Chimera really a Sith, or is there something more complex at play? Some people don't believe he's really a Sith. Everything that we've seen in interviews coming out over the last week since the episode dropped says he's a Sith. His Wikipedia entry is as the Stranger is a Sith Lord. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that develops. That's a developing question, right? What is Soul's hidden past? What darkness does Soul possess that Chimera mentioned, and how does it connect to what happened on Brendok? So everything really ties back to Brendok. Like we still don't know. We've only seen things from Osha's point of view. Osha's fate. Will Osha escape Chimera's clutches and expose the truth about May? I don't know about that one. Let's wait until we get to the theories. May's ultimate goal. Is she genuinely devoted to the witch's coven, or does she have her own agenda? I don't know if there were any survivors of the fire. I said I feel like Mother Coral may have survived. We're just gonna have to wait and see. It sounds like she's loyal to her family and to the coven. That's what she says. But then, like, it looked like she killed Osha, right? I'm just going with that for now until I know otherwise. We didn't see it, but Osha looked like she had a lightsaber wound, and May did it. So, like, if you're all about saving your family, and like she said as a little girl, everything I need is here. Your sister being alive changes everything, right? But then your sister apparently chose the Jedi over you, but then you try to kill her. Like, what is May really trying to do? Like, we still don't know. It's not written in stone, but it's weird. Like, I should say, you're the violent one. May that's what we've seen of her so far. She's prone to violence, and it looked like she tried to strike down her sister. So I don't know. We've got to keep watching. May is a curious character, but I have a feeling that we're going to see a flip at some point. That's going to be something I bring up in the theories, which is coming up after this question, right? And then there's the Jedi Order's vulnerability. So how could Chimera infiltrate the Jedi so easily, and what does this reveal about their weakness? Chimera knew where all the Jedi were located. There's information about May was not in Osha's records. Either the Jedi never put it there after what happened on Brendok, or it was removed. The Jedi have a leak. There's a breach in their information. Like, stuff is getting out there. How is Chimera gaining access to the Jedi's files? How they fight? Because I mean, like Yord said, he doesn't fight the way we've been trained to fight somebody that has a lightsaber. It's like we don't know what we're doing or whatever. He said he gets in your head and he stays there. And yeah, he does that, but they're trained to fight a certain way, and then you have this opponent who doesn't do, what you're expecting them to do. And, it's like, well, how does he know how the Jedi fight? How does he know where the Jedi are stationed? How does he know all of this stuff? Who is feeding him this information? Where is he getting it? So that's a theme that I've seen, and I don't know if I actually voiced it previously. One theory I've been seeing circulating online that the Stranger, Chimere / the Master is an apprentice to Tenebris and or Darth Plagueis, right? So if he's an apprentice to Tenebris, then Tenebris has Chimere and Plagueis, and they're kind of battling it out. And so the Stranger wants an acolyte of his own to take down Plagueis and eventually take down his master Tenebris. And they're saying, well, that's not going to happen. Tenebris is going to show up and off the master, the Stranger, Chimere, by the end of the series. I guess that would be cool, but don't get your hopes up for that one, because, that one seems to really be gaining a lot of steam. And, I with me and these fan theories, I'm like, yo, man, one of the reasons y'all didn't like The Last Jedi is because everybody for 2-3 years had all these theories and none of them happened. All right. So the other theory is that the Stranger becomes Ren, right? I mentioned this in the last video. I said, yo, man, the Stranger reminds me of the Knights of Kylo Ren design. Maybe he's Knights of Ren. So I don't necessarily think he becomes Ren, because I'm under the impression that the Knights of Ren were operating in the unknown regions for a long time ago. And they became kind of this, maybe they were still operating, but it's almost like its own order. And I guess maybe they died out or whatever. That ties back to the Tenebris and Plagueis thing, is he leaves and goes to the unknown regions. I don't think that they would let him go. If just the way I saw Palpatine didn't want rivals, right? And so you got this rogue Sith running around in the unknown regions. I don't think they let that go down. So these are my theories, right? I think there might be other Sith orders, and like I said, that they wouldn't want rivals, a rival group, but maybe Palpatine gets rid of them. I don't know. I really don't know, but I think it's possible there could be other Sith orders. Yeah, we have the rule of two, and people understand the rule of two through legends, not in canon, through legends, right? In canon, yeah, there's the Bane Order of Sith, which really the only thing we know is that they're devoted to taking down the Jedi, right? Order 66 is, Darth Bane's plan come to fruition, is that we destroy the Jedi and once more the Sith rule the galaxy. But there could be other Sith orders that aren't in that Bane Order of Sith. That's why we call them the Bane Order of Sith. What if there's another order outside of them? And the reason I say that is because why would Chimere heal Osha, right? Force healing is not really, we've seen Rey do it, saw Grogu do it. It's strange to me that he healed Osha, right? Osha did what May was supposed to do, defeat a Jedi without using a weapon. She took her little Pip droid and had Pip with the flashlight, put it on the Stranger's back, and the Umbra Moths came and carried him away. And he had to fight all of them off. I guess he killed all of them, but did she defeat him, like kill him? No, but that was smart, right? That was smart thinking. She used her environment. She's loyal to her master. Even when she left the Jedi Order, she didn't flip and, I'm going to start giving up all these Jedi secrets. She just went on and lived her life as a mechanic. Yeah, she still harbors ill feelings towards her sister because of what happened on Brendok, but it's obvious that May didn't start the fire that killed everyone. May started a fire, but not the fire. And one of these Sith cultists said in one of the Aftermath books that the dark side always tells the truth. They do, but it's like, it's the truth, but it's a loaded truth. It comes with some extra stuff. And I feel like Chimere's like, yo, man, when you know the truth, I'm going to let you decide what you want to do. You know, I think it's kind of obvious at this point that Chimere wants to take Osha as his apprentice because May is out to serve herself, right? And, you know, I guess he's thinking, well, they're twins, so you've got the same power, the same potential as your sister. You just got a different attitude, and I can work with that. We'll wait and see how that plays out in their conversations, hopefully in the next coming episode. Right, we've only got 3 episodes left, so something's got to happen. And I said all of that because this is my big theory. This is going to piss off a lot of people. That's why I really would love to see it happen. Osha actually becomes a Sith Lord. Osha is Darth Tenebris. Yeah, I said it. Do you know how many people that would piss off? No, but Darth Tenebris is Abyss. But hop on Wikipedia. What does it say about Darth Tenebris in canon? Very little. I don't think we really know anything about Darth Tenebris in canon other than he was Plagueis' master. That's it. So, and this is about Osha, right? Leslie Headland, isn't that the showrunner? May, I mean, I wasn't watching all the trailers and everything else, but you know, when I saw the first trailer, I thought it was like one girl. I thought it was Osha. And when I was seeing May, I thought that was Osha. And I didn't even know her name at that point. I thought it was all the same chick, you know, well, it is, you know, the actress. But, sorry, I had to sip on my fanboy tears, especially over what I just said. I thought that this girl was a Jedi. The Jedi feared her power, kicked her out, and somehow she becomes a Sith Lord, and she brings about the return of the Sith and, you know, and Plagueis. So like all of this breaks canon. That's why I've been looking at them funny. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was always under the impression that Tenebris and Plagueis and all of it and Palpatine, they all come into the picture because of what happens in this story. And so it's like, how can it break canon when like this connects to that? Right? You had this story and Anakin Skywalker. Well, this destroys the canon. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's like this came before that, right? Do you understand how stories work in timelines? And do you even know what canon means? I mean, like I said, I was under the impression that this character, the Acolyte, reintroduces the Sith into what's developing and how that leads to the fall of the Jedi. So we don't know anything about Tenebris, but if Osha, for whatever reason, the events here, she learns the truth of Brendok, and then she realizes that, oh, my sister tried to kill me. Something pushes her over the edge, right? And she just completely becomes unhinged. Like I said this kind of off the cuff in the last video. I said, yo, man, I don't know if Osha and May both make it out of this. I think something's going to happen to one of them. I joked. I was like, what if they come together and merge, kind of like Piccolo does with some other Namekians, and, you know, they become like the super Osha May being, or, you know, I was joking there, but I was serious about, I don't know if both of them are going to live. I think something's going to happen to May, and Osha can't deal with the loss. Maybe she kills May. I don't know. All I remember is, like I said before, when people say things, why are they saying this? What do they want us to know? What is the story telling us? Because if it's bad writing, you don't know anything. You don't find out anything. But if you pay attention, the story will always tell you what it is that they want you to know. And so it's like May's the violent one, Osha's not. Somehow Osha is going to become the violent one. And when she does, she's going to turn to the dark side. Then there's a question, well, if she's on the dark side and she's the Acolyte and she's the Sith apprentice, then how does that work with what we know so far? For me, the way it works is that she's Darth Tenebris. She becomes Tenebris. Forget he's Abyss. Forget that he's even a he. It's like, well, how did this girl who people hated, How does she become that? That would be a very interesting story to see. And it would piss off the fanboys, which would make it even better because they'll cry so much that, yo, man, Disney, Lucasfilm, you don't have to do any marketing, man. Star Wars Theory will cry every day for the next, I don't know how long about this, because he makes way too much money to stop making videos about Star Wars. So, got to make that Star Wars money. Got to make that Star Wars dough and tell everybody else they're shills when you're the one counting all the coins. So enjoy your 30 coins of silver, Judas. But those are my thoughts. What do you guys think about these theories? What do you guys think about the developing questions? And how do you feel about the themes that have run throughout the first 5 episodes? And what you think about the Master cutting down all those Jedi? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. And that's all I got for this one. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.